Hey there, self-sensing woman. Trying to get out of my comfort zone, literally get out of the house to record. It's a little bit uncomfortable. There aren't many people here on this beach, but still, there's people around me, but I'm trying to get used to it. And trying to keep in mind what the purpose is in this for you and for me also to recognize, learn, become aware, and all those things about life. So today I wanted to talk about what it is to feel unsafe. Maybe it is something that you don't recognize or think about, and maybe unsafety is often associated with being afraid, with fears, being scared or uncomfortable, maybe even being shy, and it could be all those things. Feeling fears is an obvious one of not feeling safe. Maybe that's one of the basic emotions that you feel that's underneath everything when you feel unsafe. But it could manifest itself in also a lot of different other ways that you might not recognize as feeling unsafe, but that you might recognize in daily life. So if you take a second to yourself, what could those things be in which you feel that maybe you are unsafe? And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Neisha. I am a bridge between the human experience and the soul essence. And I'm guiding you into finding purpose and mission in daily life through bridging those things. So one of the few things that is actually a manifestation of unsafety is anxiety. And underneath the core of anxiety is fear. So feeling anxious, sometimes you feel uncomfortable, sometimes you feel afraid of something, but you don't really know what it is. Sometimes you do know what it is. And anxiety comes from maybe expectations that you have, or fears, irrational fears, fears of the unknown, maybe sometimes even fear of the known, because anxiety can also come up when actually you have outgrown a certain life stage and your soul is actually telling you, okay, let's get out of here. So it's making you feel anxious to show you that this situation is not good anymore for you. You need to get yourself out of it. You need to take care of yourself and listen to the anxiety. And that's why maybe some of you have had burnouts, because you've been pushing yourself to stay in that situation, while it was actually also showing you that this situation is right now is unsafe for you. You're not supposed to be there anymore. So stress, burnout, anxiety, those can also be signs of feeling unsafe. In a way, sadness can also be unsafe, because sadness is about, anxiety says something about the space that you are in, and I think sadness says something about the time. So you're sad about something that has passed or that you lost. Maybe you're sad about the future not being here yet. You're sad because you have pain, and pain is based on human experience. immune experiences of the past. So sadness is about the time and your expectation of time, the way that you perceive time. And sadness and anger, sometimes they go hand in hand, and anger can also be frustration that is about time. So you're angry because something happened or hasn't happened. You're angry because you haven't set your boundaries, and anger might also be about space then. Setting the space for yourself. Setting time for yourself. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted because there are people around me. So I'll take a second. I tend to attract people like really close around me sometimes. So, which is a good thing because people, they find me approachable. They ask me for the road or how something works or something. But in this case, like there was no one around me just now, and now there's like a bunch of people. But it's okay. Just becoming aware of my discomfort. Anyway, so we've talked about feeling unsafe and where it comes from, that they could be coming from coping mechanisms or protection mechanisms that you set up for yourself. And a mechanism, like I will have a video about this as well. Mechanism is something, it's a system within your system. So you have a system which is your body, your emotions, your feelings, your spiritual connection. And within that system, there is a mechanism. It's like you are the computer and there's this software program. So this mechanism, protection mechanism, it goes on at certain cues. So you're conditioned to set that software into motion when there are certain stimuli or certain events that is happening outside of you, or maybe even inside of you. Sometimes your own. Sometimes you trigger your own protection mechanism or coping mechanism just by thinking or feeling or expecting the same feeling or thought. So that's one way that you can feel unsafe, because your protection mechanisms is turning on and telling you like you feel unsafe, or you feel something outside of you that feels unsafe, to which your protection mechanism responds to. And of course there's also and I think we often forget that, just the instinctive feeling of unsafety. And maybe we don't really feel that anymore in daily life because there's actually, like, realistically not much to be afraid of. Like, logically. But, you know, instinctively you could be afraid of, I don't know, a car running you over, or not having enough food, even though you do. Maybe there's this instinct inside of you that is afraid of not having enough of the basic needs in life. And I think maybe some of you, so did I have that with money, for example. There's always enough food, but there's not enough money. So how to deal with these? I think also mentioned a few tools already. One of them is to just sit with yourself and become aware of what is coming up, trying to get to know your software, so your mechanism, what is happening, when are you being triggered or touched. So what are the cues that is going on and off, on, and what do you need to turn it off? So sitting with yourself, becoming aware, you don't need to know all these answers, but you will get to know which thoughts are going through me right now, which feelings are going through me right now, what am I feeling in my body. And sometimes becoming aware is enough to just let it be and to let it decline by itself. It will soften by itself. And sometimes you need something extra. Sometimes it's your inner child that has built his protection mechanism, and your inner child needs some care. Maybe it has never or not often enough felt safe, or doesn't know how to feel safe. So you will have to take care of that inner child and maybe tell it that it's safe, or hug yourself, hug your inner child. Teach yourself that you are the adult and that it's okay to have all those feelings that might be coming from childhood experiences, from your inner child. And also soften it in that way. We do a lot of things in a hard way, in a rough way, but especially sensitive people, it's good for us to be soft towards ourselves, to soften things. And sometimes when we have acknowledged how we are feeling, what we have been thinking, well, not taking our thoughts seriously and just letting them be thoughts, we get some relief, and then it's easy to move into the silence. And in Japanese spirituality, that's called suum. Into the silence, there is connection with everything. You're connected to the earth, you're connected to God, to the universe, you're connected to your heart, to your soul. You don't even have to do anything for that connection. In that silence, there is just spaciousness, and in the spaciousness, there's a feeling of unity with everything and connection with everything. So that could be another route of feeling safe. Just it helps to go into nature, or to be by yourself, or both, or to do something like maybe an emotional or creative expression that works for you, in which you get into a zone, and that zone also creates a type of silence that is a flow, a spaciousness, a being, just being present. It gets you to being present, because sometimes when we are feeling anxious or we have emotions that are attached to our protection mechanism, we are not in the present, because that mechanism doesn't come from the present. And when we feel safer, we feel more relief, we feel more space, we feel more confidence. We have the ability to set boundaries. Sometimes, when we feel anxious, we actually don't have the ability to set boundaries, and that's okay. Know that about yourself, if that's the case, and make sure that then that you're by yourself, so that you don't have to, or you're with people that you feel safe with, so that you don't put yourself into a situation where you feel anxious and you have to set boundaries, because that can be difficult. So then withdraw a bit, be with people that you feel safe with, or be by yourself. And again, become aware, acknowledge what is going on inside of you. Japanese spirituality calls it rasa. Rasa is the felt experience, everything that you are experiencing. So, see if you can recognize settings or feelings, emotions that show that you feel unsafe. Recognize them and see if they are part of a bigger mechanism inside of you. And if they are, then they might be holding you back from being your full self, being yourself fully. And of course, that's what we're working towards. If you're being yourself fully, then you can recognize in each moment what your purpose is for every moment. And if you don't, if you feel unsafe all the time, then it might be the case that you are in a continuous survival mode, getting yourself out of it every time. So I would like it if you would become aware when you feel unsafe, so that you can create that inner safety. So there are a few meditations that you can do, so check out the description for these meditations to create more safety. And just enjoy the magic and beauty of life from within. And also, of course, when you're in nature, like I am now, also enjoy the magic and beauty outside of you.